Hello my lovelies, it is time for another book outlet haul, so stay tuned. So I have a relatively small book outlet haul, small for me anyway. I haven't done a haul in a while, or a book outlet haul in a while, so I did a little shopping, did a little perusing, and I had to get something. Anytime I go on that website, I have to get something. So let's dig in and see what I got. Okay, so I'm going to go through these relatively quickly because as I'm filming this, it's super late and I need to get to sleep. So I'm just going to jump right in. The first thing I have here is Cinder Bitter by Martin Shaw and Tony Hoagland. These are Celtic poems, and it says, Cinder Bitter collects works originally composed and performed centuries ago in Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, before notions of authorship were distinguishable from the oral traditions of myth and storytelling. Now celebrated mythologist and storyteller Martin Shaw and award-winning poet Tony Hoagland have created dynamic, lyrically gorgeous versions of poems and stories from this Celtic tradition. In riveting, shaggy narratives of fiends, fire, heroes, and heroines, in mysterious origin stories of Arthur and Merlin, and in haunting lyrics of elegy, praise, and heartbreak, these poems retain the rapturous, supernatural imagination of the deep past, layered with the joy and sorrow of prayer and song. Shaw and Hoagland's collaboration revives a story house of Celtic culture, extending the life of this vital literature. Cinder Bitter will plunge you deep into the romance of language and legend, from which you'll emerge refreshed by contact with a wild old imagination. Ahead is an island, but that is no island. The scaled, greasy gray aquatic scalp of the serpent. Inbringer, terror wakener, black worm. 7 yawns the creature makes, and then the tongue seeks flesh counsel, darting the waves. From Cinder Bitter. Alright, and this is pretty short too. Though the writing is pretty tiny. Like it's only, looks like 140 pages. Well, some of the stuff is like this, so it's just really small. Okay, a lot of it's like that. I just saw at the end, I was seeing what looked like this. Alright. Okay, next up I have Ban This Book by Alan Gratz. And let's see, this says, it's a battle of the books and Amy Ann is determined to win. It all started the day Amy Ann Ollinger tried to check out her favorite book in the whole world, from the mixed up files of Miss Basil E. Frankenweiler from the school library. That's when Miss Jones, the librarian, told her the bad news. Her favorite book was banned, all because a classmate's mom thought the book wasn't appropriate for kids to read. Amy Ann decides to fight back. Soon she and her friends find themselves in the front line of an unexpected battle over book banning, censorship, and who has the right to decide what they can read. I think this is going to be awesome. Next up we have The Monarchs by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page. This is the sequel to The Ravens. I don't have my phone to look up on Goodreads to tell you about The Ravens. I haven't read it, but I do own it. I can tell you it's about a sorority of witches. That's all I really know. So I've got the sequel now. Next, we have The Last Chance Library by Freya Sampson. And this says, lonely librarian June Jones has never left the sleepy English village where she grew up. Shy and reclusive, the 28-year-old would rather spend her time buried in books than venture out into the world. But when her library is threatened with closure, June is forced to step out from behind the shelves to save the heart of her community and the place that holds the dearest memories of her mother. Joining a band of eccentric yet dedicated locals in a campaign to keep the library, June opens herself up to people for the first time since her mother died. It just so happens that her old school friend Alex Chen is back in town and willing to lend a helping hand. The kind-hearted lawyer's feelings for her are obvious to everyone but June, who won't believe that anyone could ever care for her in that way. To rescue the place and the books that mean so much to her, June must finally make some changes in her life, and maybe, in fighting for her cherished library, June can save herself too. Next is Taurus. It's written in the stars, and this is, I think, just about being a Taurus, which is what I am. April 21st through May 21st, and my birthday is May 7th. This says, are you a typical Taurus? Are you strong and dependable, a natural-born artesian? What if we told you that your star sign is only the beginning? Astrology has been around for thousands of years, and there's so much more to it than your daily horoscope. Did you know that your rising sign can give you an insight into the way other people see you, or that your moon sign reveals the secrets of your innermost emotions? Astrology can predict your future, but it can highlight your potential. Oh, it can't predict your future, but it can highlight your potential. This book shines a light on your strengths, your weaknesses, and what you're capable of, and the opportunities not to be missed. Use it to gain a better understanding of who you are and who you might become. Then I got The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, and it's a little bit damaged, but not bad. This says, from the New York Times bestselling author of The Guest List comes a new locked room mystery set in a Paris apartment building in which every resident has something to hide. Jess needs a fresh start. She's broke and alone, and she's just left her job under less than ideal circumstances. Her half-brother Ben didn't sound thrilled when she asked if she could crash with him for a bit, but he didn't say no, and surely everything will look better from Paris. Only when she shows up to find a very nice apartment, could Ben really have afforded this? He's not there. The longer Ben stays missing, the more Jess starts to dig into her brother's situation, and the more questions she has. Ben's neighbors are an eclectic bunch and not particularly friendly. Jess may have come to Paris to escape her past, but it's starting to look like it's Ben's future in doubt. Everyone's a neighbor, everyone's a suspect, and everyone knows something they're not telling. Next is The Midlife Cyclist, the roadmap for the plus 40 rider who wants to train hard, ride fast, and stay healthy, by Phil Cavell. And this says, the Midlife Cyclist is the ultimate manifesto for those of us who choose cycling performance as our means to rage into the twilight rather than fade into infirmity. Time's arrow traditionally plots an incremental path into declining strength and speed for all of us. But we are different to every other generation of cyclists in human history. An ever-growing number of us are determined to scale the highest peaks of elite physical fitness into middle age and beyond. Can the emerging medical and scientific research help us achieve the holy triumvirate of speed and health with age? Written by bike fit pioneer Phil Cavell, the Midlife Cyclist offers a gold standard roadmap for the mature cyclist who aims to train, perform, and even race at the highest possible level. Grow old, get fast, don't die. Okay. Then I have The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. And this says, what if the end of the road is just the beginning? This one got a little bit damaged too. 4 years ago, Dylan and Addie fell in love under the Provence sun. Wealthy Oxford student Dylan was staying with his friend at his friend Cherry's enormous French villa. Wild child Addie was spending her summer as the on-site caretaker. 2 years ago, the relationship officially ended. They haven't spoken since. Today, Dylan's and Addie's lives collide again. It's the day before Cherry's wedding, and Addie and Dylan crash cars at the start of the journey there. The car Dylan was driving is wrecked, and the wedding is in rural Scotland. He'll never get there in time by public transport. So along with Dylan's best friend, Addie's sister, and a random guy on Facebook who needed a ride, they squeeze into a space-challenged Mini and set off across Britain. Cramped into the same space, Dylan and Addie are forced to confront the choices they made that tore them apart and ask themselves whether that final decision was the right one after all. And then the last book that I have in this box. Wow, this is really a short video. This is Have a New Teenager by Friday. From Mouthy and Moody to Respectful and Responsible in 5 Days by Dr. Kevin Leman. I have a 16-year-old teenage boy. I need help. Let's see. It says, you may have survived the terrible twos in the first years of school with your sanity intact, but when your precious child becomes an entirely new and alien creature, a teenager, so now you have a choice. Either send that teenager to boarding school and visit when he reaches normalcy again in about 10 years, or choose to experience the best, most fun years of life together. The secret is how your parental cards are played. Teenagers can successfully face the many temptations of adolescence and still grow up to be great adults. And you, Dr. Lehman says, are the one who can make all the difference, because you count far more in your teenager's life than you'll ever know. Even if she won't admit it, at least until she's in college and wants to know how to do the laundry. So, yeah, I'm hoping for some help. So these are the 9 books that I got from a book outlet. I can't remember what the amounts are, and I don't have my phone over here to pull it up. I want to say it was like $50 something, but then I used $50 in rewards. I think in the end I only paid like $7 or something like that for these. So awesome. So have you guys read any of these books? Did you like them? Did you not? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye.